This is for example number 1. Right? So now, how about this time here? We're going to do, this time here, how about we're going to solve? And what I mean solve here is, once again, we're going to graph the solution, right? We're going to graph the solution. How about we got y is strictly greater than minus 1, for example. Okay? So, once again, on my graph, so I want to solve for that linear inequality right there, right? And so now, I want to graph the solution, actually, I want to graph the solution, the region of the solution. So, on my graph, right? On my graph, once again, I'm going to draw my x-axis. I'm going to draw my x and my y-axis. So that's x and that's y-axis, right? And so now, my inequality here is a, once again, y greater than minus 1. So now, once again, you have to think of the line y equals minus 1. You have to think of the line y equals minus 1, so it's this line here. Minus 1 is right below the x-axis at negative 1. So it's a horizontal line, dash, yes. Okay, it's that line right there. Okay, that is the line y equals minus 1. But then I want y greater than minus 1. So of course I'm talking about the region, the entire region above that horizontal line. Okay? And then this time, my inequality, notice, my inequality sign right here is a strictly greater than sign, right? It's a strictly greater than. So that means my line right here is, yes, it's supposed to be dashed like that. I do not want solid line, I want dashed line just like this. Okay? Alright, so now, another one. So, one more example. So how about this time we are trying to find, this time how about we're trying to look at example 3 here. Okay, and we want to graph the solution, right? Graph the solution of, and my inequality would be, it's going to be 4x plus 2y, okay, and greater than, okay, 6. Okay, so it's a strictly greater, or this time you can do, greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so once again, the first start, the starting point for this is to solve for y on one side, right? To isolate y on one side and then bring the rest to the other side. So what I need to do first is I'm going to subtract 4x to both sides. Subtracting 4x to both sides, and I'm going to end up with 2y greater than or equals to 6 minus 4x. Am I right? And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and notice, dividing this time I'm dividing by a positive number, so it does not change my inequality. Right? And what I have is a y greater than, and you can break that fraction on the right side here apart, so it's going to be 3 minus 2x, right? Or you can write it as y greater than or equal to minus 2x plus 3. Am I right? So now, with this final formula here, I'm having just simply one y positive on the left side, and the rest goes to the right side, right? So now, once again, I'm going to think of that as like the line y equals, I'm going to think of, see? Think of y equals minus 2x plus 3. Okay? Think of that line right there. And so now I'm going to start graphing that solution here. I'm going to start graphing that solution. And the way to do that is, so now in my next example, I want to graph y greater than or equal to minus 2x plus 3. Right? So, once again, I need to draw my x and y axis. Okay, that's my x-axis. And that's my y-axis. Okay, x, y, So my line 2x plus 3, y equals 2x, 2 minus 2x plus 3 is this line right here. Well, y-intercept 3, right? Y-intercept 3, so it's right there, right? And slope minus 2, so it's coming down that way. Okay. So now I'm going to connect the dots again. Right? And it's supposed to be like this. I mean, at first it would be always a good idea to start out writing that dash line. And then, now this time, instead of wanting the line, I want my y here, I want it to be greater than or equal to minus 2x plus 3. So that means I want a region above the line. My line is right there, right? I want a region above that line. So it has to be this region right here. Right? Everybody with me now? Right? That's the region right there. And then, this time my inequality sign is including the equal sign, right? So it's greater than or equals. So that means my line here has to be a solid line instead of a dashed line like I draw it at the beginning. Right? So that is my region. So that's how I graph the solution to one linear inequality of two variables. Right? We're looking at linear inequality of two variables.